Okay, I've got a Wendy's Frosty and we're ready to start animating here in Photoshop. From Photoshop, go to File, New. Let's go with 128 pixels by 128 pixels, 72 ppi, RGB, 8-bit, transparent. Make sure transparent is set. That'll be very important. Okay. Alright, this comes up. It's a pretty small area, but that's what we want. Hit F as in Frank to maximize this view. Your workspace should look something like this. If it doesn't, just go up here to Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials, or hit Essentials and then Reset Essentials. There we go. In our layer palette, we have one layer, and we've got the checkerboard, which shows that we've got transparency. So we're ready to go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and draw the first frame of the animation here. I'm using the brush tool up here, by the way, and the brush tool, as you probably know, has size and hardness controls up here. All right, so I'll do something like this, and there's my first frame of my animation. Now, to add another frame to the animation, what we're going to do is go over here and add a layer. And so I'm going to go to this layer, and if you want, you can simulate what we call onion skinning in animation by taking layer 1 and turning down the opacity up here. I'm just clicking and dragging on the word opacity so that I can just see a ghost of that image. Go up here to layer 2, draw in my next frame, my passing position of my walk here, something like that. And there we go. So now I have 2 frames, and I'll turn the opacity back up to 100% on layer 1 so you can see I've got this thing going on right here. Well, let's go ahead and be satisfied with a 2-frame animation. Let's go up here to Window and Animation. So turn that on and we should get a palette down here. Now yours might look like this, but have no fear. There's a little icon down here in the bottom right of the screen. Just click on that and it will take you back and forth between those 2 views. We want the frame view, this one here. You'll notice there's 1 frame in the animation and it's got a big mashup of all of our legs. Looks like Schleppnir there. Odin's 8-legged steed. So let's turn off layer 2. Alright, well, when we turn off the layer, it updates down here on layer 1 that now we've got that. That looks pretty good. Well, let's go ahead and add a second layer using the new layer button here. Or I'm sorry, frame. A new frame using the new frame button here. Alright, we do that and we get a carbon copy of frame 1. Well, we want frame 2 to be our passing position over here. So what we're going to do is with frame 2 selected so that it turns blue, we're going to turn off layer 1 with clicking the little eyeball there. And we're going to turn on layer 2, clicking the eyeball here. So we've got frame 1, which looks like that, and frame 2, which looks like that. So you'll notice that our duration here is set to 10 seconds, which is way, way, way too long. So let's go ahead and take these down for right now. Let's just do, let's say 0.2. 0.2. And then it's set here to play only once. That's going to be a short animation. Let's go ahead and play it forever, which is much more melodramatic. Okay, and now we can hit the play button down here. And our animation plays back here in the window. We've got a little walk cycle going there. Looks pretty good. So now if we want to add frames into this cycle, no problem. We'll just go back here. I want to add a frame between frame 1 and frame 2. So what I'm going to do is turn my opacity down in frame 1 again. Go over here to the layers palette this time and click on the new layer button, which is down here in the bottom right of that palette. And now we have a new layer. You can also go up here and add a new layer this way if you want, which is under this flyout menu, or you could go up here to layer, new layer up here. So 3 ways to lose. The choice is yours. Okay, so let's go to layer 3. And now I'm going to just go ahead and draw my down position, something like this, and something like this. Okay, there's my down position. And then I'm going to go over here to my frames, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a new frame here. All right, so right now this is a little bit messed up because I've got these 2 frames are the same, and this frame is the new frame, so this is not what I want. So no problem, I just go to frame 2, turn on this one, which I want to be on frame 2, which is my down position, go to frame 3 and turn on my passing position and turn off the other ones, and now I have I've reordered my frames to be in the right position. So to finish this off, I'm going to go ahead and add an up position for the walk. So I'll go over here first, add a new layer, turn off, move that layer on top of the stack here, just to keep it straight. Reduce my opacity on my passing position layer. And I could actually also turn on layer 1 as well with low opacity, so I can kind of see both of those if I really want that. I don't think I do, but sometimes you might want that. And so let's go ahead onto layer 4 now, which is where I want to actually draw this. And I'm going to make my up position for my walk. It'll be something like this and something like this. All right. Okay, so now I've got my layers over here. I've got 4 layers, and then I've got 3 frames over here, so I need to add another frame, and I need to readjust frame 3 because that looks funny now. So no problem, I just go over here to add a new frame. So now I've got 4 frames. Go to frame 3, and I want this to be the passing position, which is one of the first ones I drew. I also want it to be at full opacity, so I turn the opacity back up to 100. And then I'm almost done. I go here to frame 4, and I want to turn off the ghosting behind there, so I'll just go ahead and turn that off there, and now I have a full cycle, because the last frame of the cycle would just be a repeat of the contact position there. So if I go ahead and play this animation, I should have a fairly decent looking walk cycle. And I could go ahead and change the frame rate here for the playback, and there we go. So that's the way you do frame by frame animation in Photoshop, and that's really all you need to be able to do in Photoshop. It's not too crazy. So in the next video I can show you how to export that as a PNG sequence, which you can use, those will be your sprites that you will use in processing.